So, yes, we've just started day 2. Let me have a look what's on my, still holding the chain cutters, lol, to-do list for today. So, after, no, that's me, I have to find 20 real to pay for my room every day. That's a whole thing. The smoker on the balcony. Yeah, I remembered this was time sensitive. So visit apartment 28 sometime after 9 o'clock to see if anyone's home. So we'll do that at the very end of the day. Still trying to get the boots off the victim's feet. Still trying to find my gun that disappeared. The apartment number 10. I need to investigate that for the cleaning lady. Okay. Find all the armor pieces. Go back to Measurehead and talk to him about the race enigma. That's probably on my list for today. Get a hold of a sad song. Find a way into the secret passage. Keep searching for a caller. Ask around about the victim's tattoos. Okay. Ask Kuno if he knows anything about the victim's clothes in the trash. Who else has unauthorized access to the whirling trash? Find this person and you'll know they tampered with the scene. This may take a while. Track down your badge. Find some smokes, but I'm kind of trying to avoid that, to be honest. Kim suggested that you call the station Lazarus to sort out your health issues. Maybe I'll start there. Access the harbour and ask for Evrart Claire's help. Ask the little girl in the fishing village down the coast who knows something about armoured gloves. Find out who's in the Union box. Guard has told you some unruly Union men gather in the mess hall of the Whirling of Rags. They're not there today, but they'll eventually show up. Keep up an eye for them. Okay, I'm going to start by calling my stations Lazarus, I think. What is a Lazarus, though? I think I tried to...
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Yeah, I'm currently locked at a couple of my white checks. I need more points in encyclopedia. And interfacing? Okay. Let the mirror be for now. Let's, carpe that diem, as they say. Nope.
The door is closed. Still nothing. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside.
Okay. No problem. Oh. Nothing on the front page rings a bell. Strange. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like it can get into... Oh no, that's just downstairs, isn't it? Okay, yeah, let's head downstairs. I'm so glad that I have both of my shoes now. Oh, there's the gardener. So I guess maybe some people have changed positions today, which is interesting. Okay, Kim wants to talk to me. Hi, Kim.
Morning.
He gives you a quick nod.
Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union must have turned up. They look rowdy. We should.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll start with that today then. What do you mean rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here, Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for sage policing. I think it's them.
Okay. Why do we need to talk to them?
Everything points to the Dockworkers Union. The belt used for hanging him, the circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information.
Yeah, I'm still kind of wondering whether it is gonna be the Dockworkers Union. Like, is it the obvious answer? I wouldn't really mind if it is, because I do think that that's, like, very interesting politically, but I'm wondering if it's something else, or someone wanting to scapegoat the Dockworkers Union or something like that.
Which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them, and it won't be easy.
Are these the men Gart told us about yesterday?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace
He
it.
crosses something out. There are so many of them. Maybe we should call in reinforcements?
That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
Okay.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our
Gotcha.
visit.
But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
Yes, I am.
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
Okay, cool. A woman's hand wrote yesterday's menu. Today's starts in a man's handwriting. Okay, interesting. The gardener is saying, "This is what I studied law for," which is an interesting tidbit.
Let me handle this.
Elizabeth is her name. The woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning to you,
Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay this right now.
Honestly, she is so real for that. There's something so funny about playing this game, and like every time anyone acts like aggressively towards the character that I am playing, I'm like, kind of got a point though.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is interesting though. It feels like very different to how she was acting yesterday. You're the gardener.
No, I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dockworkers Union.
She crosses her arm. Okay, what's going on? Are you gaslighting me? Or were you gaslighting me yesterday? Or do you have a twin? Like...
So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does.
She points to the man on her right. Isn't the Hardy Boys a reference, maybe, to something? Let me look this up, because that sounds familiar. The Hardy Boys. That sounds familiar. The Hardy Boys are fictional characters who appear in a series of mystery novels for young readers. Okay, well, there's that. And there are some TV series that have been made based on the Hardy Boys. Okay. That's not as interesting a connection as I thought it would be. But... yeah, okay.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
Slay.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest.
Oh, Kim. Why do you have to be like that? I'm always like, oh, me and my buddy Kim, and then I remember that Kim is a cop, and sometimes he acts like a cop, and... why'd you have to ruin everything like that, Kim?
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
Yeah, fair enough. Honestly, fair enough. What's your role in all this?
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
Okay, girl, listen, you can be as rude as you want to this cop, but don't get potentially ableist about it, okay? Alright. What if I want to talk to you, not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are
I
not.
really think that we can all take a leaf out of this game in terms of how to treat and talk to the police. I really think we can all learn something from that, and just the way that characters talk to the police in this game. What are you going to do to me? The lieutenant is not satisfied with the approach.
What are we going to do to you?
She starts laughing. It's a cold laughter devoid of joy.
The union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate. It is a labor organization.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress.
Why are you so aggressive? I, a white man, said to a black woman who is rightfully hesitant of me as not only a white man but a police officer when she is the legal representation for a labor union.
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence.
T.
These people are just dockworkers.
T. Okay, queen.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguard.
She's so real. She's an icon, but I am kind of cute. Like, why this change? Like, what's going on with the change? In terms of, like, she was acting completely differently yesterday.
Fuck yeah.
The tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
Oh god, okay. Here we go again. So, what are my options? The world needs a financial buffer zone. No need to get emotional. No. The privatization is not unlawful. It's cool and funny. Whatever. No. I don't know where you heard that, but it's wrong. The RCM is principled and strong, unlike you socialists. Nope. I liked that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Armed uprising. What are the union's plans? Yeah, let's do that.
Look, a comedian. Do your job, ask your questions, then get out of Martinez.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe it can be a socialist.
Oh gosh, I know I've talked about it quite a bit at this point, so I don't feel like it needs any further explaining. Especially for people who've like watched the previous streams or are watching on YouTube later and have seen the previous streams. But I do really love how consistent the game is in terms of like stating this contradiction between being a police officer and a socialist revolutionary, and how like if you as the player are trying to express those political beliefs through the mouthpiece of this character, then people kind of like don't believe you maybe, or don't think you're acting in good faith, or like blah blah blah, because it literally doesn't make any sense. It's like counterintuitive, and it feels that I do really love how consistent it is with that, because it's true. It's just true, and it's good analysis and it's good writing. Okay, I should talk to Titus then. Anyway, Elizabeth is an icon, so there's that. It's a boulder, spit in it, reeking of tobacco. Okay. You see hawthorn bushes outside. Let's talk to Titus.
This is where you say your bit.
A broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can.
Detective.
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. Oh, okay, Kim. I guess you're doing that. We need to talk about the hanged man out back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker.
What's with the accent, Titus?
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Time to go to work in the shit factory!
Oh, interesting. That's time to go to work in the shit factory or something along those lines, I think is like the dream that I had last night. I think that's like in the game, not in real life, lol. I think that's what the like primordial like voice, whatever it's called, said.
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
He slaps his forehead.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them.
That is interesting. An interesting statement, just because, like, you know, we talk. I think that a lot of kind of stuff about kind of the complexities of trade unions and, like, even though we support them as socialists, like, some of the things that can or should be critiqued about them or about the culture within some of them being a theme, I do think that a certain kind of masculinity is definitely part of that. So that's an interesting statement. Scan the room.
No. I's here. You got business with my boys. You got business with me.
He understood what you were doing, taking inventory of them. Now watch the other guys fuck it up by falling out of line.
Yeah! You fuck with the Hardy boys, you fuck with Titus Hardy!
Shouts the scrawny, rat-faced man, 2 teeth missing in the front.
Yes, falling out of line to please him. This is the best kind. And now this guy is going to...
Relax, Dennis. No one is fucking you yet.
Says the 40-something man from the corner with a plectrum hanging from his neck.
Use it to take a dig at his friend. Floodgates.
Oh,
open.
wow. Okay, psychological warfare on the Union guys? I don't feel good about that.
Yeah, Dennis, calm down. No one's fucking you, you stupid fuck.
Let Dennis enjoy his fucking, man. We don't mind.
You notice gang tattoos. The man must be either Mesk or Sara Merizian. I remember Mesk being the Spain adjacent place. I don't remember the other one.
This one knows how to keep things going. He's a hothead, but not one to be taken lightly. The last one is a bit of a black sheep.
Yeah, you're not even being fucked, Dennis.
Easy, fellas. We got company. Let's see what brings the cop around.
Too late. You already got a pretty good picture of these guys. You can use this.
But what can I use it for?
You could take another look at the tracks in the yard. See if they fit with the characters here. It could be incriminating.
Okay, interesting. The man hanged in the backyard. Did you do it?
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Okay. Why is there a container belt around the dead man's neck?
Container belt? Like we use in the
Yes,
harbor?
exactly. Why?
Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him.
Okay, are you confessing, or are you doing that thing where you're like doing a joke confession to make fun of me?
We did this together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
Aha, so you just confessed to murder?
Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
Interesting. Okay, and she is their lawyer, so it seems that perhaps they have discussed this in some capacity. I mean, it's an interesting strategy, if so. I wasn't expecting that. So, where do we go from here, you know? Okay. You murdered him like that. Let's just go in order then. Okay. You murdered him just like that. No remorse.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Yeah, fair enough, to be honest.
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Okay, yeah. So I assumed that because chaise is chair in French, électrique is obviously electric, so electric chair. Yeah. Okay. So they have the death penalty in Revachol under the Coalition.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
He says it as if it were worse than dying. Interesting to bring that up as well, because obviously, you know, death penalty is bad, but as an abolitionist, I'm also against the prison. So he makes a good point. Okay. Reunion, Reunion I'm assuming is a prison, right? So I don't think I need to ask that. And I also have a feeling that making it clear that I've got some kind of memory problem is not going to go down well for me. So, yeah. Okay. Hold on. It looks like this is one of those things where they've given me a few different options to express my politics about the prison. Speaking of abolition, so that's interesting. So they've got, yes, but these were all bad people, criminals, scum of the earth, so not choosing that. Look, I'm just doing my job, that's all. That also is not okay. What we do is different. We enforce the law, you just kill people like it's nothing. I also don't agree with that. Honestly, I drink so much I can't really remember anyone I've sent behind bars. I think that that's an admission of weakness in terms of the context of there being some kind of like gender dynamics going on here where like they're having a bit of a pissing contest, but I don't care about doing that because I'd rather not like express support for prisons. But I'm interested to learn more about prisons in Revachol because, so, you know, as an abolitionist, I believe that it's pretty clear when we kind of like look at the functioning of prisons in our modern society that prisons function in order to create populations for labor exploitation. So prison labor is kind of exploited in a way that is tantamount to modern slavery, and to kind of suppress resistance and remove undesirables from society. That's how it works kind of across the world. And that's why, you know, various laws intentionally criminalize certain groups of people. That's why in the United States, for example, which has the world's highest prison population, the majority of people in prison are black men. And, that also kind of feeds into the idea that slavery continues to exist in the United States because of the, unwaged, exploited labor of black prisoners. And, we're sold this myth that imprisonment is for kind of the sake of, our collective safety as a society, and also even more progressive arguments for prisons are that, prisons can exist to kind of reform people. But that is also simply not the case, because I think that a philosophy of punishment is never conducive to kind of changing for the better. I generally think that it's been overwhelmingly proven that people don't respond well to punishment for a kind of positive change or growth. And punishment is not the same as accountability. People should be held accountable for their actions, but punishment doesn't positively reinforce the idea that people are capable of change. So there are a lot of levels to it. I'd be curious about within the political context of Revachol and the occupation government, the coalition government, I'd be curious to learn more about prisons there and where they are and how they work and what the demographic of the prison population is, to kind of tease out some of those politics and whether or not the writers of this game, who I know are communists and anarchists, are also prison abolitionists. And I think that is something that would track, because clearly they're anti-police. But yeah, it would be interesting to see. Okay, so I'm going to say the last one, even though I don't think it's gonna go down very well. I drink so much I can't. Oh, actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna ask the question, because I guess this is my opportunity to learn more about that. So, Reunion, what's that?
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
Okay, interesting. I drink so much I can't really remember anyone I've sent behind bars.
Doesn't remember them. He just forgets. Are you hearing this, Titus?
Ain't no use keeping a stiff catalog in your head. That's for sure.
He wipes his mouth with the back of his hand. I mean, they're also completely 100% right to call out that accusing people of murder and imprisoning them for murder when cops get away with doing murder all the time, whether that's kind of police brutality or literally sending people to be executed, or sending them to kind of spend the rest of their lives in a cage, is how is that not violent? And it's just something that's seen as necessary and legitimate, which is bullshit. Who called the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys.
Interesting strategy, Elizabeth.
Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A shadow of a smirk passes her lips as she tilts her head. Interesting. I don't have to. One of them was more complicit than the others. Address Elizabeth.
That's for the courts in Les Jardins to decide. Not for the officer making an arrest. Which we all know you won't be. What you can do right now is go back to your station and write a report.
No. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
Okay, Kim. When did this hanging incident occur?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
The fixer turns to remind Titus.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
How long had you known the victim?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
Interesting. Okay, so Joyce coming to town correlates with the security officer coming to town.
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier, the representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know...
What do you mean the stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over? Like, are you talking about a literal cow? Did they send a literal cow in to fuck you over, or...
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
Or are you talking about Joyce, but being weird about it?
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Okay. Thank you for the follow, Lore Curator, by the way. Welcome. How did you kill him?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Okay. Love this game, happy to be here. I am playing it for the first time. I'm really enjoying it so far, but it's cool to see. I think since I started streaming it, I've definitely seen a lot of love for this game, and I think I totally understand why it has such a lot of fans, because I do think it's really great. I've really been enjoying it. It's, yeah, super, super interesting. Okay. We need more. Did you muffle him? We haven't heard any reports of screams.
Titus, you don't have to clarify anything.
We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead and steady.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you fucks.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
Okay, well, I don't think it's gonna go very well, but we can try a composure check. So things aren't quite right here, are they? Ooh.
Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room. Given how many questions you've logged their way.
All of them? Maybe one of them is fidgeting, cracking under the pressure.
Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
R.I.P. Where did this overpowering happen?
Right fucking here. The fucker pranced in here like he owns the place. Got what was coming to him.
Okay, well, that makes sense, I guess, because you hanged him outside. How did you manage to overpower him?
With numbers, asshole. How do you think? You're right, Lizzie. I've done enough explaining here.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Right, I have other questions about the lynching.
Like what?
Why did you kill him? I mean, I can imagine why, but I want to hear you tell me.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it?
And he stepped out
What did he
alive.
do? No, what did he do though? How did he step out of line?
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Seminine written all over him. ex-Oranese Special Forces.
Okay, that's interesting. Oranese is referencing, so I think that place is like adjacent to like the Netherlands kind of vibes, so that's interesting.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
A live grenade? Oh, holy shit.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Powers.
Yeah, tracks.
They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to some.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, companies using private security to try to break strikes is absolutely a thing. Horrible bullshit thing. So, once again, I can't really help but support them doing this. How do you know he was in Special Forces?
Because one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm RNA's goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you
Wow,
all.
that was bold of him.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNA's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Well, sounds like he was a cunt.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke.
Okay. Besides from crimes against karaoke, what did he actually do wrong? I mean, these are annoying questions to have to ask because I am already sympathetic and I can already understand what he did wrong and why they, but anyway.
Wrong? He harassed women.
Jesus.
Raped one. Harassed workers. Threatened to kill some as a warning.
Jesus, okay, yeah. I mean, I was expecting bad stuff, but shit.
There's slight unease in him, suddenly. He regrets mentioning the rape.
Yeah. That's not the kind of thing I would mention without knowing if the person that happened to was comfortable, because now the police are gonna try and find out who it was and ask them a bunch of questions and potentially put them in an unsafe situation. So
To kill us all if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over.
right.
And that was before he started coming.
Right, okay. Well, I didn't really need to be convinced, but more and more I'm on their side, so.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started to come in here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grab one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
Hi, Thunborn. Welcome.
He grabbed someone?
The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information. Well, Kim, it's not difficult to process that this is how private security that's sent by a logistics corporation in order to break a strike behaves. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, this girl's on the mic, a beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming, "Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt?" Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle, doesn't even fall down.
Sorry, yeah, that's a lot. He shakes his head in disbelief. Oh god, okay. I don't really feel comfortable with asking this, but it's giving me the option to ask, was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted? Raped, you said. I really feel uncomfortable about asking more about that, because I don't want to put her in some kind of a position, but I mean, also what he's described is just like horrible, like sexual harassment. And I think you could, you know, he's like grabbing her and stuff like that as well. I think that counts as sexual assault as well. So I don't know, I kind of think I have enough information about that. I don't feel comfortable about asking more questions. I mean, even though like sometimes I try to remember that I'm like playing a cop or role-playing a cop to some extent when I'm like asking questions. I don't think I can do that. Okay then, now about the man you killed.
What about him?
So what are we going to do now? Conclude the questioning.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus.
The lieutenant closes his notebook.
I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder, even if it is a group responsibility. We're going to look into
Okay, interesting. So Kim thinks that something else is going on.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Rent-a-cop. So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his equals. Forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easier now.
Okay, interesting. We're not going to establish authority. Yeah. I mean, fuck the police and all. I think that part of fuck the police is kind of understanding that you don't want to, like, replicate the police. So I think there's a lot of interesting stuff going on with, obviously, like, again, I support the union. I support trade unions. Like, I am a communist. I think there's a lot to be said for the kind of, like, attitude of, like, masculine aggression that's going on, and the idea that, like, they're the real police, when again, like, I think that, like, a holistic anti-capitalism is, like, anti-police and should be, like, pro-abolishing the police, because, as I've said in previous streams, because the police exist as agents of the state that protect capital and protect the government. So they protect corporations, they protect the interests of corporations, they protect their property, they protect the government, etc. Like, at the expense of people. And so that's not, like, in a communist society, in my opinion, that's not something that would exist, right? Like, the police wouldn't exist. And because, you know, if we're talking about a stateless, classless society, then the police only exist in the context of a class structure. So that's interesting as well. I think the idea that, like, the men of the union are kind of saying, like, oh, like, we're the real police, we want to act as the police, you know? Okay. I'm gonna take off now. "100% agree" from Lord Curator. Well, you're gonna like it here on this channel, my friend. Hello. New person that I can talk to? It's all about money, you know? Okay, never mind. How are you doing, miss? I forgot your name. Lena.
Just a moment.
The old woman turns back to the cafeteria manager.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
The cafeteria manager appears genuinely apologetic.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
Okay. Good day, ma'am. Everything all right?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Why did you need to use the phone anyway?
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
Oof, okay. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
A cold breeze hisses through dense thickets of reeds. Something sweet in it, somnolent. A damp chill goes down your spine. When you look around, you're still in the whirling in rags.
But you have more important things to worry about.
She glances over at the window toward the bay. No, tell me, I'd like to help you. You're a sweet person, and it really sucks that you're in this position and that this town is inaccessible and everything is harder for you than it needs to be because of how inaccessible this town is. What is this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect.
Cool.
But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
Okay. You mentioned traps. Could there be a problem with them?
I doubt it, sweetie. The traps aren't big enough for humans to get caught in them. They're for the insect. Anyway.
She looks around.
Do it. Find him. This will surely lead to a mystery with that extremely rare insect. Yes, please. Some science fiction is exactly what's needed right now. Spice up that vanilla murder investigation.
Okay, sure. This sounds like police business. I'll help you find your husband.
Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? I did suggest we played cool, but...
The lieutenant tilts his head towards the vigilantes in the cafeteria. Kim, we got a lot of work to do in terms of you kind of like uninternalizing this whole like police thing. But where's your sense of being a human being in the world that wants to help other human beings in the world? Come on. I've already given my word. I'm honor bound to uphold it.
If you say so.
Thank you, officers. Truly, I'll be right here if you come across any sign of Morel.
Okay. So your husband is some kind of a scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
Cool. What's cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban...
The lieutenant sounds unimpressed. I'm sorry, Kim. I really don't vibe with your rejection of all things supernatural. Have a sense of whimsy at the mystery of life, Kim.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
Sure, I guess they are. They don't have to be rude about it, though.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
Well, you did. Maybe work on the delivery next time.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology. One specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
Okay, fascinating on a couple of levels. I've always found the concept of cryptozoology like fascinating because I think that like, you know, in the modern world with the influence of Western imperialism and kind of Western rationalist thought, which kind of emphasizes that there's like a rational or logical explanation for every phenomenon in this world, which is not necessarily something I agree with and is very much been a tool of colonialism over the past few centuries, been a bit longer than a few years, last few centuries, because this idea is kind of used in the narratives that Western countries undertaking kind of colonial endeavors are racially superior to indigenous people, and that includes the idea that of intellectual superiority, and you know, Europeans and Westerners are intellectually more superior because they understand that, you know, they understand kind of like the world in a rational way, and indigenous people who have, you know, forms of spirituality and that are, you know, not rationalist in nature, and that they understand the world in kind of like diverse ways, and they understand different phenomenon in ways that are not like rationalist in nature but are not necessarily like illegitimate, so that makes them like backwards and less civilized. And this kind of stuff is very important to be aware of, because I think it's like a narrative that a lot of us can perpetuate without like knowing it, but it really contributes to this like colonial narrative, and it can be quite racist and quite disrespectful in a lot of ways of like people's beliefs. And I do believe, you know, that there are phenomena in this world that we don't understand and may never understand, and everyone's, you know, I don't necessarily believe in the idea of an absolute reality. I think to some degree like reality is, you know, everyone has a different reality. But anyway, I think what I was trying to get to was cryptozoology is fascinating to me because it feels like it's come from a trend where like within the West, like, you know, North America or Europe or whatever, there are people who believe in some kind of like forces or phenomenon that exist outside of rational explanation, but they wouldn't necessarily like turn to like spiritual understandings for those phenomenon, and their approach is to say that they want to do kind of scientific research or pursue scientific explanations of that phenomenon. I just think that that's really interesting. I don't know that I necessarily... I'd have to think about it some more, because I'm kind of thinking out loud a little bit, but like I just think that's interesting as a phenomenon, the rise of like cryptozoology, which is basically the idea that like of investigating like phenomenon that's often dismissed as being irrational or unscientific through like a scientific means, because it's I don't know if it's like, I don't know if there's maybe like an impulse from some people that they've experienced certain things or they believe in certain things, but they feel that like a spiritual understanding is not like enough, that they have to pursue some kind of like rational way of understanding those things. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it necessarily, but I think, I don't know, maybe because like I'm, especially as I've gotten older, like quite a spiritual person myself, I don't really have like a problem with the idea that like, I mean, obviously science is very important and, you know, science is great in a lot of ways, but I don't think that everything in our world can necessarily be explained through, you know, Western science. And I think that the impulse to try to explain everything in that way is maybe something that should be interrogated. I hear it as a means of maturity, though from me, any disbelief comes from a place of defeatism. That's an interesting opinion, Themborn. Tell me more about what you mean. So what do you think is a means of maturity? And when you say disbelief as like a kind of defeatism, what do you mean by that? I'm interested in what you mean. Thank you for sharing that, though.
She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own.
Okay. Tell me more about Morel, looks, character, your relationship.
Oh dear. I'm not sure where to
What does he
begin.
look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
If I were trying to meet him on the street, what would I look for?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
Okay. How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
How did the two of you meet?
By a dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he just divorced.
Oh, dating as a disabled person vibes must be the trenches.
We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She smiles wistfully. Well, I'm really glad it worked out for you, Lena.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I think I have all the information I need. Let's move on.
I hope I've been useful.
Tell me more about the rare insect that your husband's looking for.
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
No, I want to hear about it.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
Ah yes, Phasmatodea. A diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially. Oh yeah. Here comes the interesting...
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
She looks you in the eye and nods thoughtfully.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
Oh, come on, Kim. Lighten up.
It's not made up, officer. I can
Being so
assure you.
rude.
It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
What makes you think the phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
So, a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have?
Of course, most Phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insular Indian Phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
That's true. That's a good observation of behavior in nature. Does it have cool powers?
Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years. Centuries even.
Okay. What's so special about this stick bug, then?
Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special.
The woman's face flushes with embarrassment. Don't be embarrassed, Lena.
Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
The maturity part, says Lamborn, is people viewing it as believing in the supernatural is seen as childish, like with Santa, or trying to apply logic to it means you're dismissed as a silly person or taking it too far, like Kim in this scene. Okay, yes, I think I get what you mean. That, like, that believing in this kind of stuff is seen as immaturity, and so the idea of kind of like pursuing it through scientific means, like, could be pursuing that, but then people kind of dismiss it as you being silly or taking it too far. Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids. Suggestion check.
You're an enthusiastic idiot, but you're still...
I want to know everything about cryptids. Living cryptids, extinct cryptids, marine cryptids, land cryptids. Bring it on.
We don't have time for cryptozoology 101. Let's get back to work, shall we?
That's all for now, ma'am. Okay. The tomatoes are so thinly sliced you can see through them. Hello, I don't know if we've met.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the whirling...
Hello.
As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garancy and Kubek.
Okay.
Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Quebec. Please. It's not funny.
He's right, it's not funny. It's kind of xenophobic. Hello, sir. Got time for a few questions?
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
Do you know what's behind that door? Point to the blue door.
He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
You've got some impressive pots there.
He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
I don't think I need anything else. Stay masculine. Wow, what a thing to say. Still can't open the door, can I?
You see a heavy steel door with a prop.
Yeah. I think I need like a lock for it, or like a key for it or something. Okay, so what I wanted to do was check out... Can I leave that one now? Do I have to leave through the back? I wanted to go to Kim's car and make that call first, because I think that's the closest thing to us.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater
Pick
gauge.
up the radio again.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Alice, please connect me to the Station 41 Lazarus.
It will take just a moment, officer.
Her voices fade out into the familiar radio static.
Gottlieb, what do you want?
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Chewing on hard candy? What kind of a person are you? I was told to call the Lazarus. People are worried about me.
Oh, it's you.
The man is unpleasantly surprised.
Was that a snarl or a suppressed groan? No love for you here.
I've lost my memory. All of it.
With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised? Okay. Anything else?
What else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side. You've got a whole new life now. Use it wisely.
It's hard to say if he doesn't believe you or doesn't care.
Yeah. Isn't there anything you can do for me?
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside your body?
Yes, I want the truth.
You want the real, honest-to-God truth? Stop drinking, eat magnesium and vitamin D. Our station is not a retirement home. We don't have the funds to deal with rock stars past their prime.
So it's political. You're being neglected because of political
well, listen, I think that it's worth saying that it is an issue, like, and this is an issue that I think we very much have in real life as well, right? It isn't, when someone is going through something like this, and like, again, I've dealt with addiction and am a recovering alcoholic who's been sober for about 3 years now. When someone is in this kind of a mental state and they are self-sabotaging this much and it's destroying their body and it's destroying their health, like, because that is such a vicious cycle and it's so violent and they often kind of like hurt people around them intentionally or not and suck them into this vortex of despair and hurt. It can be hard, and I get it, it can be hard sometimes to empathize with people like that, and it can be hard to feel like they deserve help when they're hurting themselves. But everybody deserves help. Everybody deserves it, okay? Nobody is more deserving than anybody else of help, especially with their health and their mental and their physical health. Everybody deserves that. And even though I can understand to some degree, like, the frustration, I think that the dismissive, the neglectful, the horrible attitude that people have in our society towards drug addicts and alcoholics is so horrible. It's just so horrible on many levels, and I think that obviously it makes me feel particularly sad because it's something that I went through, and imagine if I was still struggling with that and things had just gotten worse, and people had just left me to die, to just kill myself slowly, because that's what we're doing, we're leaving people to die who need help, and nothing makes that okay. And I think that our medical profession can be, and this is a deeply political issue because it's part of a capitalist idea that people who are unproductive their lives are not worthwhile. People who aren't like independent and productive don't have worthwhile lives, and that is fundamentally like an ableist attitude, and that is a reason, like, you know, alcoholism and addiction, it's a physical and a mental health issue, and the idea that the lives of alcoholics and addicts are not worthwhile is because of this disableist attitude under capitalism, that people who need help, people who are not productive, and people who are not independent do not have lives that are worth living and caring for, and that is a horrible, violent way of thinking about our fellow human beings. It's absolutely horrible. And again, I do want to emphasize that, like, I get it, like, as being like an alcoholic myself, and also as having friends and family who have had to deal with that and have had other people in their lives that are alcoholics or addicts, and how hard that can be for them as, you know, people who are experiencing that kind of like harm that we can do when we're in that place, like struggling with addiction. But leaving people to suffer and leaving people to die is just like not okay. And I think particularly with medical professionals, it's like, I mean, it really comes into a whole conversation about like the politics of the medical industrial complex under capitalism, and how like many doctors, I think, are conditioned to think about people's lives in very troubling ways, and like as some people are deserving of help and some people as undeserving of help, in ways that are like deeply troubling, because these are the people that are supposed to help us, and they like gatekeep our access to the help that we need, like medication, surgery, etc. And they have like systematic power over us because like they have the power to help us or not help us, to give us the like medication, the resources that we need. It's a whole thing, and for a medical professional to be speaking to anyone like this is like it's just not acceptable. It's really not. Yeah. The defeatism is what I feel just from parts of life that were rougher than others, and learning about world events and general things. We are fed with social media. Like ghosts, if they were real, why haunt people that have nothing to do with them and not the ones responsible for the bigger picture? Feel like I can only bring the mood down when talking about this stuff when it's a source of fun for others. Oh, don't worry about that, Dunborn. Don't worry about like bringing the mood down or anything like that. Don't worry at all. But I'm just trying to understand what you're saying, I guess. But I appreciate you elaborating on that a little bit more.
And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact, I got work to do. Some idiot has glued his eyelids shut with cyanoacrylate. It looks like Mactocin.
It's not fucking cryoacrylate. It's super glue, Doc.
Okay, let's just go through the other dialogue options. It's Firewalker here.
Firewalker? Oh, yes, you are. Just don't breathe in the general direction of your fire feet. Actually, wait. Do exactly that. Put yourself out of your misery.
Jesus.
Take a deep, diaphragmatic breath in and...
You hear an exaggerated inhale and a long exhale on the other end of the line.
A glorious sight. Your body, tired from the vastness of the visions that haunt it. burning up in a flame fed by your own living breath.
So you see it too, that my body is to become the last torch in the darkness?
I see third-degree burns and a referral to a plastic surgeon whom you won't be able to afford. But that's in the future. Do you have any current, pressing medical problems?
I think I've had a heart attack.
And you survived it. Congratulations. Are you mobile?
Yes.
Even better. Anything else? I wouldn't worry about that. Officers your age have coronary trouble all the time. Also, death is a
Jesus
natural part of
Christ,
life.
this doctor is terrible.
Accept it. The body is an object, and objects break down. Do what good you can with yours, before the rest goes too.
I guess that's it for now. Hang up.
Mm-hmm.
The phone clicks. Suddenly you hear the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
I'm done with the radio for now.
57, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of
That's it. We're good. We're good. Okay. God, what a horrible, horrible man, huh? Not sure if I've come in here before, actually. Oh, this was the... Oh, hold on, I can level up. How do I want to level up? Let me look at my white checks. I think physical element or empathy, conceptualization, seem like some things that I could level up. Hi, Lena. That's my cat. I don't know if you heard her purring. Okay, I could coach physical instrument though. I can spend a point on coaching my physical instrument. Could potentially do that, and I could also consider derealization, just because I'm kind of curious about what happens with that one. I did put a point into empathy recently, so I think maybe that's fine. Could be good to put one in rhetoric as well, I don't know. Okay, let me coach my physical instrument. Yeah. Yeah, that was my one skill point, so that's fine. Okay. You have to gain authority in Titus's eyes for the investigation to advance. Soften him up first, maybe investigate the crime scene or the body, look for a witness, get help from the union boss or a company rep. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think that... I'm just gonna try to talk to Kuno a sec, because I got that empathy point last time. It'd be interesting to try to...
Fuck, does Kuno care?
Let's try... My chances look low, but let's try an empathy check.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Okay, so none of these are gonna work, but which one do I push? Kuno, listen, I know this boundary pushing thing is new to you, but it's old news for us grown-ups.
Get your snout out of Kuno's ass. Kuno knows how hard Kuno pushes it. Kuno pushes it hard level. You should give up, Popo, or the Kun will keep fucking it out of you.
You okay, Kuno?
She looks worried. The Kun has her confused. Or the
That
Kun.
went wrong.
Sorry.
He took it as a compliment. Then he had a minor seizure.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Okay, well, that didn't work. So, hold on. Yes, I was trying to remember there was something I could do at the crime scene, so I can look at these prints now. And...
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
Okay, so because I counted the Hardy Boys, they said they hanged the victim, and Viscal said go do it. I've got a high chance for this check, so we're going to do a visual calculus check to get an exact count.
8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boots? That's right. The Hardy Boys in the mess hall of Welling in Rags.
Go over them one by one.
1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Just like Titus was wearing in his booth. This is the big dick. Titus Hardy. The one with the bald cap on his head.
Okay, interesting.
Is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. Putting them on the scene is easy. Maybe even too easy.
Continue counting.
2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 44. Either the blonde muscular guy, Glenn, or the young guy with a plectrum around his neck. 3. Hobnailed work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 43. The inked banger, perhaps. 4. Standard work boot. Number 45 or 46. Theo, the old smoker. You think you even see a tiny fleck of cigarette ash inside the print.
What else?
5. Another standard work boot. Reinforced toes. Number 44. Same as before. Either the musician, Eugene, or the muscle-bound blonde, Glenn. 6. Light as air. Same make of boot, but number 41. Small like a rat. Shanky.
I should have gotten this earlier.
Better late than never, detective. The whole world is dark and the tracks burn in it with strange...
Count the rest.
7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. Fat Angus. Carrying something.
And the last one?
8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more worn. Curious. A missing 8th Hardy.
Okay, a missing 8th Hardy Boy.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy Boys were here.
8, actually.
That's all? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. Anything else out of the ordinary?
Okay. An aberration. One sole is smoother than the other.
Interesting. Let's name it the odd sole. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy Boy. Wonder who he is.
Do you have any ideas, Lieutenant?
Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer?
He regrets it the moment he says it.
Don't say anything, just nod.
I don't know why I said that. We are not looking for a drummer. We are looking for a group of dockworkers.
The lieutenant clearly appreciates the chance to clear up the drummer issue.
I thought he would.
Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
Nod thoughtfully.
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no?
Yes, prudent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a heavy one, 200 kilogram imprint.
200? This could be the combined weight of two people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built armored man. Maybe it was a fat hardy boy, the one sitting in the middle.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
I mean, that's probably right, but... yeah. The fat guy from the booth was carrying the victim.
Possibly, yes.
The lieutenant marks down something in his notebook.
But why?
You're thinking, why did they have to carry him?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows.
Yeah.
Maybe the carrier wanted to impress his peers, demonstrate his physical might.
Okay. Could he have been showing off? Maybe the carrier wanted to impress his peers?
You mean a display of athletic ability meant to belittle the victim? A local champion carrying the intruder alone? I can see it. Anyway, the others?
Okay, light step, number 41 shoe.
I'm guessing that's the skinny hardy boy. The one with his front teeth missing.
Yes.
I could still be wrong, but I'm probably not.
How do you think these how old do you think these tracks are?
A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
How do you know?
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week.
What do you think happened here?
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
So far, so good. Only one thing missing.
He looks up at the tracks, face lighting up from the realization.
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 hardy boys.
8 tracks, 7 hardy boys.
Mm-hmm. Which one is missing, do you think? I'm going to say it was our odd soul.
So, the odd soul was present at the lynching, but isn't in the mess hall right now.
Yes. I doubt the Hardys are going to tell us who this person is. For now, it's best if we just keep our eyes open. I'm sure our investigation will eventually lead us to the odd soul.
We've been through all of it. Okay. Okay. Ask the little girl in the fishing village down the coast who knows something about the armored gloves. Don't know how to get to the fishing village down the coast, I don't think. I feel like we have to talk to this guy because Joyce and the investigation that she asked us to do, but also because of what Kim just said about looking for someone in the traffic jam.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
Empathy check. What do you see in his eyes?
In his eyes, an unfamiliar longing. Flecks of brown and gold.
Familiar how?
It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond the horizon. The road continues for miles, flowing together with other roads, turning into causeways or bridges, ending suddenly in dead ends, or ramping up or down highways. It forms a crisscross pattern across the land.
Where does it lead?
Above the Jamrock Quarter, in the form of a raised motorway, and then the never-ending sprawl of Forburg, high above buildings, new and old, the air filled with the rumble of motor engines.
Further.
To the old south, to the farthest outskirts of Revachol, through the checkered fields of farmland, upstream to the river Esperance, past Montmartin, the border approaches.
What's beyond the border?
You cannot see. It's out of the city. Up ahead, the mist blocks all sight. A gale blows across your cheeks. It is cold. Before you stands a tall lorry driver with sad eyes.
What's in the southwest?
Excuse me?
He emerges from the reverie. Really, you can tell me?
Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no helping in absence, you know. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit, so far from home.
What's it like to miss someone?
What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail of living with them. It comforts me. What about you, Cop Man? You missing someone?
Is that what it is? This feeling? No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
No, I feel hunted.
Hunted? By what?
By a shadowy figure known only to me as the ex-something.
An ex-wife?
That I just lost health over that. It followed me into this world when I awoke. I think it may be a planar hunter.
Planar hunter? Wow, that sounds really bad. I hope that doesn't happen in my marriage.
First, what is marriage?
Man, who even knows? It's like a legal contract, but also a bond between spirits. Everyone is different. That's all I can say.
Wow, I don't think I either want to tell him it's definitely going to happen in your marriage too, or don't worry, I'm certain nothing bad is ever going to happen to your marriage, because I can't. Don't want to say either of those things. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe this either, but I'll say it because I don't want to say the other two. My thing has got nothing to do with marriage.
Sure, man, if you say so. But look, man,
it doesn't look like he believes you.
Thanks for this. It's good to talk to someone. I know it wasn't easy to ask, so I hope you find your way through your own troubles.
That's all for now. Bye. Okay, well, I thought we were going to get more out of him, but I guess not. That's the old woman we couldn't talk to much before. Well, I think it might be time to talk to Measurehead. Never seen a game with as many how to human questions. Yeah, for sure.
The unpromising raised pupil returns.
Hi, Measurehead. I didn't really have a choice, so I internalized your reverse race science theory. Okay. Do you know anything about this mug? Show him the mug.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Know anything about it?
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it. He had nothing to do with it. Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash?
Yeah, fair enough. Why are you not with the Hardy Boys?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
Wow. Just... wow.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
There's more to it. What have you got against them?
Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female vagrant and a narcotics peddler. It's shameful.
What do you mean?
Find out for yourself. Endomorphic blob.
Interesting.
The lieutenant makes a quick note. I think I know what the race enigma is. Here we fucking go, you guys.
And
okay, we have some really interesting answers here. Paradoxically, you plan to supersede the Occidentals with their own race theory, which is kind of what I was talking about earlier before. You know, it's fighting fire with fire when it's like, it's not productive to fight race theory with race theory. Like, just creating another race theory, but actually white people are the inferior race. And you're also still doing racism to other races, like to Asian people and stuff, is like not how you fight colonialism. This racecraft is what rich people want us to do while they get all the money. Also kind of a point there, you know what I mean? I mean, race is, it operates to a lot of ends, like it achieves a lot of things, and one of those things is divide and conquer of the ruling class, of the working class, sorry, lol. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired today, so I feel like I'm not always making sense, but yes, so part of it is about divide and conquer of the working class. I mean, I would say that a lot of it is to do with, you know, legitimizing colonization, and, you know, creating like groups of people that you can justify the kind of colonization and exploitation and enslavement of. But within that, particularly like in modern society where like there's a increasing degree of like diversity within like Europe and North America, I think that, or even historically though, I guess, because you can think, for example, about how kind of like the, you know, Noel Ignatieff has this book called How the Irish Became White, and it's kind of about how within the American context, like, when Irish immigrants came over, because, like, Irish people are not, you know, have not always been racialized as white. I mean, there are people that have experienced colonization, and I think that throughout certain historical contexts where the Irish were, and I mean the Irish continue to be subject to British, like, colonialism and capitalism, but, like, because race is the thing which is kind of, like, historically and geographically contingent, there was a period where kind of, like, Irish people were considered, like, a different racial group from, like, the English, right, for example. And, I mean, you can kind of see that all the way up until, like, the, you know, 60s, 70s, 80s, and people having signs on pubs saying, like, no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. And in the American context, Noel Ignatieff writes about the idea that Irish people kind of came to America, and in order to kind of not experience in order to kind of, like, experience less racism in society, they kind of threw black people in particular, but, like, also racialized people in general, like, under the bus, and kind of assimilated into whiteness, because that was something that they were able to do. So instead of kind of, like, acting in solidarity with many racialized communities in the United States, many Irish people chose to kind of, like, assimilate into whiteness so that they wouldn't be subject to as much violence. And that's a pretty clear example of kind of race and how it can function to kind of divide the working class. And I mean, that continues to be relevant today in how, like, the ruling class perpetuates racist narratives about how the kind of oppression that you experience as a working class person and the kind of material difficulties that you're facing as a working class person, so not being able to pay your rent, not being able to buy a house, not being able to cover the cost of groceries or your heating bills, or to afford healthcare and things like that, are what those things are actually the result of is, of course, like, capitalist policy, because they want to invest their money in areas that will kind of continue to generate profit for them instead of investing that money in welfare. And they make things more and more expensive for us so that they can profit, obviously. And so racism is used to scapegoat, you know, certain communities, so that white working class people will kind of blame people of color and migrants for all of these problems instead of blaming the ruling class. So I think that one is also true. So I think number 2 and 3 are also true. It's something you shock people with, liberal and progressives people. Okay, I don't know about that. I think that his investment in racecraft is clearly, like, I don't think it's just about shock value. I think he has, like, a clear investment in it. It's whatever you want it to be. It's a free association, language exercise, degenerate race hero. No, I don't. I think that's reductive as well. I don't know about the rest, but it's clear I should stop drinking the ancient Ilmarin mind poison alcohol. Yeah, maybe that's true, even if I don't subscribe to the race theory. This dump is ready to be superseded by the Areopagite superstate. I can serve as an administration clerk. Maybe you need a cop. Yeah, no. I think the one that calls to me the most, and I think 2 and 3 are kind of the most relevant, is paradoxically you plan to supersede the Occidentals with their own race theory.
Look, babe. The minion of law is also a racist. But his racism is basic and
code. He thinks he has solved the Great Race Enigma by describing a code mechanism of scientific competition.
So unadvanced.
The woman looks half bored.
The basic race education he received in high school has led him to think his phylum are the sole authors of race theory. An esoteric study reaching back to the ancient mass society of Pericarnassus over 4,500 years ago. Basic racist, I take pity on you. You clearly want to enter the harbor bad. Like a little boy who wants to go on the potty. I can press the button for you. It will open the door.
That's all I wanted.
Very well. You may enter the door once.
He punches the emergency button with his fist.
Our race conversation here has concluded.
Finally. Let's go.
Okay. Well, maybe I could have done that before. I don't know if I had to internalize advanced race theory to do that or not, but here we are, so... I thought I was gonna have to, like, agree with him, and maybe I do have to agree with him for him to keep the gate permanently open, but it's possible that once I train my physical instrument, I can, punch him next time if I need to, so we'll see. Come on. What's going on here? Why are you getting stuck, Harry? There we go. Oh, I thought I had to... How do I... Do I have to go back up and find a way through? Sorry, I'm trying to I'm trying to figure out how to get down there. How to get through the gate. Or does the gate open somewhere else? I don't... The door is above the stairs? Which stairs? Oh, is it the door that I tried before and it didn't work? This one? There, okay, okay. Thank you for the tip, Lesbian Pain. The radio is emitting strange buzzing sounds. This is a Dewey typewriter. The model name is on the back. Every worker equals member of the board is written at the top of the flyers. And at the bottom, the union logo and demand democracy. Slay. A standard office file cabinet. The drawers seem to be locked. Someone left the coffee machine on. The dark liquid in the pot looks almost sentient. Wait, hold on. I want to see if there's anything else in this room I want to look at. Okay. Oh, hello.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. The white rectangle of the Revachol Citizens Militia is clearly visible on its back. This is your cloak. You can feel it.
Lieutenant, points the cloak. I think that's mine.
Yes, it does bear DRCM insignia, and we are the only detectives in Martinique.
You think I should get it?
The service cloak issued to you by your station? Yes, yes I do.
Kim is so done with my shit. Grab the cloak.
As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloaker wants to deliver a message of comfort through your fingertips. I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is relaying.
Okay, dramatic, but let's see my cloak. Okay. Does have better stats than my jacket. Okay, well, the cloak is cloaking. This outfit is, definitely something. +1 composure, -1 savoir-faire with the green skin shoes. Okay, fair enough. I'm willing to make that sacrifice because I need shoes. Collecting rainwater. Okay. So this is where I was trying to go before from on top of the shed, but I couldn't. So finally figured that out. Wild pines. Yeah, we got wild pine stuff everywhere. All around you, great machines in quiescence. White pine trees are printed on the screen covering. Looks like a forest under snow. You see faded industrial lettering on the platform. Kvalsund. Okay. Kvalsund means whale fjord in Arden. Okay. Thanks for that fun fact. The shipyard ahead is oddly quiet. The great machines are sleeping. Maybe I want to explore the other side first. A button?
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marsh and Arret are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. Marsh. On. Arret. Off.
Press Marsh.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Okay. Feel that that is probably going to come in handy at some point, maybe. Taking its sweet time. Okay.
And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. This crane was built with a purpose, which has now been fulfilled. To move this container.
What's inside the container?
Who can say? All you know is, it's...
This container specifically? The crane only moves this specific container? Okay.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers. Except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Okay, Kim. You just have to trust the process, okay, Kim? The speaker tower is silent. There is no work to organize in the yard below. The musk of oil and rust comes from the chasm in front of you. It smells like blood. Okay, that won't open. Industrial-sized thermos. Smells like burnt coffee. The banner sags under the weight of rain and snow. Waves on red. Okay, well, before I go through there, we have a new friend.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
Hi, Easy Leo. What a lovely little song.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes
Good
along.
for him.
The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt on Muindi.
Okay.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Evrart.
The tiny man is so engaged in his work, he doesn't notice you. Hi.
Evrart, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
What a joyous little man.
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an arsehole for no apparent reason.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
A shadow passes over his kind face. Okay, well, our options here are not great. Actually, I am, yes. Or what is it with you people and scabs? Okay. Not great options, but I don't think that saying I'm a scab is going to go well for me. So, again, I mean, understandably, but what is it with you people and scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
He doesn't seem to be waiting for you to answer.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
I also don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind. Me, the player. But I can't help. I can't help playing a cop, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Easy Leo. You're Ubi, right?
Oh, yes. Born and raised in Arish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then.
New world. Okay. Again, yeah, settler colonial vibes.
People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
What are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
He waves at the containers towering behind him. Logic check. What's going on here?
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core.
Leo, has anyone told you why you need to change the covers?
No, not really. Mr. Evrart doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone.
That's funny. Yeah, I guess I can see why. This looks like a massive redecorating operation, Kim.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Dockworkers Union logo on them.
Thanks, Leo. You've been very helpful.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
Where is everyone? The harbour is empty.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in.
He leans in with a confidential look.
We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Evrart is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate.
He pauses to think.
But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Evrart sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
He stops, but seems eager to tell you more. Okay, interesting. So, I'm wondering if the trouble was the lynching. What trouble did Titus and his friends get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business.
He smiles and leans closer.
Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Evrart telling them to take some time off.
Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow.
But what did they actually do?
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
He looks to you for assistance. Okay. Too rowdy. Leo, what kind of a fight did they get into? Did they kill a mercenary?
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and the words are spewing forth. Words, words, and look, even more words. This guy could go on till the end of days. Now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who, no, he already switched to a prized fishing rod he apparently owned at some point. You know what? Just cut in there with your questions.
Do you work here?
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo.
The little man raises his hand in a welcoming gesture. He's very nice, but it's unfortunate that he's too quick to give away Union secrets to a cop.
I'm like Mr. Evrat's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Evrart is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
A good-hearted chuckle again.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
The lieutenant looks up at Leo.
A real pretty lady with a skin like those douce sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here, and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I hear you, Leo.
Stay on this Miss Beaufort topic.
Who's this Miss Beaufort you mentioned?
Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Evrart put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
Ah, that's Elizabeth. Elizabeth, who is the lawyer that we met in the Whirling in Rags. Her name is Elizabeth Beaufort. Okay. And Evrart is the one who sent her to law school.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure.
For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eyes.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
He sighs and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer, aka the
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so this is the union fixer, the gardener.
Looks like it.
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she is a real nice girl. Smart as a whip, too.
The little guy smiles a disarming smile at you. What's in that container over there? Point to the container suspended from the crane arm.
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
I'm looking for the leader of the Dockworkers Union.
Oh, you want Mr. Evrart then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood.
He coughs, then continues immediately.
Guys like Mr. Evrart and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Marchbank what it is today. Mr. Evrart and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Easy now, Leo. I just want to know where I can find this man.
Oh, Mr. Evrart is where he always is. In his office, of course.
He points to the two joint containers on your right. Okay, I'm off.
Bye-bye now.
He returns to work.
Coach physical instrument.
Nice.
Wait, How did you know all those hammer throw techniques? How do you know how to hold a discus? Or the world youth record in discus? Something doesn't add up here. This mushy thing between your ears didn't know the name of the city you're in, but it comes loaded with trivia about the correct chin position of a shot-put ball. Could it be that? Shut up, namby-pamby. This train of thought ends abruptly. It's leg day. Straighten your rhombus muscle. It's shirts versus skins. Take your shirt off, Namby. Your skins.
+2 physical instrument if shirt slot is empty. -1 encyclopedia facts for Binoculars. Okay. Well, -1 encyclopedia is kind of frustrating. I also I understand that it's like more interesting design if there's kind of like an attribute that's docked. Kind of makes it harder to make these decisions and makes kind of the role playing perhaps a bit better, but I think the idea that you can't like invest time in physical fitness and also in your learning is something that we need to unpack as a society. Okay, that box is also not opening. Okay, so I hear typing, so this definitely sounds like the office. The coffee in the giant thermoses is still lukewarm. The stair made of pallets leading up. Okay, there we go. Wow, this is... Sorry, just look at his little office. I kind of like it. A taxidermy fish that tells time. How? Is it a clock? Where's the... Yeah, it has a clock in it. Okay. Okay, nothing else to check out in here really, but I kind of like his office. It's kind of a vibe.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you.
Okay. I feel like that describing him in that way, I'm not sure if I enjoy. It feels fat-phobic to me, but let's see how this character is going to be depicted, because I think one of the fat-phobic tropes that exists in media that I think is like very tired and not very politically productive for a lot of reasons is the depiction of like wealthy or corrupt individuals as being fat because fatness is meant to be like representing greed. And not only is that a trope which is, I mean, it's damaging in general, right? But in our political context, it's kind of a it's kind of a thoughtless trope to use in commentary about capitalism, because in modern capitalism, like in late stage capitalism that we live under, like in the world that we live in today, we actually live in a culture where we've had kind of like a reversal of like who is more likely to be fat and who is more likely to be thin, which is that, like, you know, in feudal society, pre-capitalist society, it was generally true that the wealthy would like eat more and that fatness was a sign of wealth, and like that was, you know, people might have necessarily like wanted to be fat to show that they were wealthy and that they could eat a lot. Meanwhile, poor people were starving and they were likely to be skinnier. But nowadays, rich people are more likely to have the time and the money to invest in buying fresh food, eating healthy, working out, going to the gym, focusing on fitness, like all of that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, poor people, they don't have time to kind of focus on their fitness a lot of the time, and also the cheaply available food is like not fresh and the nutrition is poor, like ultra processed foods and stuff. And I'm very like, you know, I think the way that we should talk about food is like not good and bad foods. I think like, you know, food is morally neutral and eating is always going to be better than not eating. But what is cheaply and readily available to people who don't have the time to cook or don't have like the money to spend on fresh ingredients is gonna be like easy to eat and easy to obtain cheaply, like ultra processed food, and that's gonna be like a big part of their diet, and they might not be getting the nutrition they need. And so I think that like particularly now, and particularly like in new forms of media like video games and stuff, like obviously video games have only ever existed in the context of like capitalism, because that technology and art form has been developed under capitalism. Like I think that seeing that kind of fat phobic trope in commentary about like greed and class is like, not only is it like damaging because it reinforces like very real, very material, like violent attitudes towards fat people by like associating them with evil and with greed, but also it's just not even like it shows a degree of ignorance about the understanding of how like certain bodies kind of come to exist and to be policed under capitalism in the modern day. And with this character, obviously he's not like part of the ruling class necessarily, but he is like a union leader who people have implied to be corrupt. And so if the whole thing is like he's like a smarmy, corrupt individual that like wants money or something, and that's being depicted through him being fat, then that is definitely worthy of critique.
With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Are you in charge of the dockworkers?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
I don't know what I was expecting him to sound like, but that was not it. He gestures to a tiny chair opposite his giant desk.
I'm Evrart Claire, head of the Dockworkers Union here in Martinez.
The man relaxes into his chair and continues.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
Okay, interesting. So he's mentioned his health which potentially might come into play in relation to his fatness. We'll see.
You go ahead, detective.
The lieutenant nods at you, then the chair.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Okay, so I have the option to take a seat or not. I don't know if I will sit. Why are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out.
Okay, fine, I'll take a seat.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
He gives you a sly wink. Remain serious.
So tell me, How can the head of the Dockworkers Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh dear.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a great novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead.
He points at it again.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
You know Gart?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Take the comically large check, but don't say anything.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me? Or...
No.
I don't trust this situation. It is rude not to thank him for the check, but this whole situation is strange and I don't trust him. So even though that's kind of rude, I feel weird and uncomfortable about taking his money and why is he giving me the money and like what's going on here, and I feel like he was making a power move by getting me to sit in the uncomfortable chair, and now I'm sitting in the uncomfortable chair and I'm regretting it deeply, and it's a whole thing and I'm not sure how to navigate the situation, so I'm gonna stick to my guns even if it's rude. It's cool. You've got integrity.
Cool? I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty check to a cafeteria manager. But, sure, if that's what's cool nowadays.
Okay, Evrart, you're being odd. I don't really know what to make of this.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
Oh, okay. I also feel weird about this. I don't really know what to make about this. Does he want me to feel indebted to him for some reason? Like, I don't...
The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
Sorry, his slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun.
When he said, don't worry, he actually meant, be very worried.
How do you know about my lost gun?
I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Oh god, so the composure check is a really, really slim chance because I took the novelty check and the chair is killing me. I'm not doing very well at reading. I guess it feels like I'm not doing very well at reading these like power games that people are trying to play with me. Because I feel like I fucked up with like Kuno and stuff as well. But I think it's just because I'm like, it's not in my instinct to be a weird man who's overly invested in like the appearance of butchness and masculinity and power. Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna turn to Kim.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Claire's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Oh god, I have to do the composure check.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
So what? Men can cry too.
You want to cry? God, you're weak. Whatever you do, don't cry. You'll think you're disgusting.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
It's not looking good for my morale, and I don't have any healing items for it. Which is worrying me.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
The large man snaps his fingers, but to no effect. You're in some kind of stupor. There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to your safe place.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Nah, I'm as good as it gets, Mr. Dubois. Vaguely gesture with your hands above your head.
Don't be dramatic. I can see your condition isn't terminal.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost.
God, my version of Harry is really pathetic. I want to talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
Say nothing.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
Kim, is that true? Are we door-opening machines?
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
Oh dear.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Whose door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
What do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly.
He removes his glasses and rubs his nose.
Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
He puts his glasses back on. Why don't you open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
I bet you don't even know anything about the hanging.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
Fine, I'll look into it, but we need to talk about that murder.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Okay, well I probably will go in, but whatever. I'm told the Union is involved in the local drug trade.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy, honestly.
I am. Lie.
You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what? I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Could you help me get a dead body down from a tree?
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Claire, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
Also, I studied the footprints at the crime scene, worker boots.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values.
He licks his fat lips and smiles.
But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you.
He picks up the handset of a radiophone to his right, then clicks a button.
Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And, Jean, please take it easy with the race signs. He's had enough.
So that's Measurehead. He hangs up and turns back to you.
You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you.
Well, that's good. Why? You called me Mr. Dubois. Why?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Evrart, I call you Harry.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
So that's really my name?
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
I mean, I've been telling everyone that my memory is a bit hazy, so I don't know if it's worth lying at this point, but I really don't, like, I really have weird feeling about this guy. I really don't know. Like, I feel like I have no idea where I stand or how to approach this situation. My memory is just fine. I'm testing you.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out with my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
The lieutenant inspects Evrart over his spectacles.
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
Okay, drama check. Have another look at the folder.
As you look at the folder, Evrart covers it with his hand and pets it. Is he trying to hide that it's not a real RCM folder? It certainly doesn't have the RCM stamp on it.
That's not an RCM folder.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
So the Census Bureau says my name is Harry Dubois.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
I met Joyce, the company representative.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Okay, there it is. There it is. What do you mean it's not the union versus the corporation? Okay, so we're kind of talking about it a bit before, that like some trade unions and some trade union leadership can be like quite liberal or neoliberal in its approach, and some of them are very intent on like being buddy with the employer and like having a good relationship and not antagonizing them, and that can really suck. I will say though that often, like, I don't know, I feel like often leadership like that is quite hesitant about going on strike, so I don't know. But if there is like some kind of weirdness or some corruption going on here with Evrart Claire, then I feel like that line, I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but that line is potentially very telling. Just pals?
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. I'm not a jealous guy.
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
Yes. What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Gaumont?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
You called him a midget.
Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
Oh God, he's so smarmy. I hate it. Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny, Joyce didn't mention any casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
That much is true. His heart truly is in it. Though you wouldn't think so by looking at him. If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor
Why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Evrart, Joy seems to think the Union is lowballing her.
Yes, yes. Lowballing, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
I mean, I guess he has a point there. I really don't know what to make of this guy. Are you sure? I find it a little odd.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me.
Well, I don't quite at the moment.
Okay then. Positive emotions it is. You like positive emotions.
Okay, let's talk about something else, I guess.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization.
You're acting so weird. I can't make out. I can't figure him out.
I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret.
Yes, this whole conversation does feel like a big haze of vibes. I agree. Them born.
Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Evrart doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Aren't you going to ask me how I got in?
Honestly, I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become Measurehead's race pupil.
I really believe in the race mystery, and I'm glad I was given this chance. I hope one day I'll be able to contribute. I'm not a race pupil, I just listened to some of the things he had to say. It was a tactic I needed to get in somehow. It's not like I'm racist now. Yeah, I'm a big racist. It's basically like that in my head all the time. Okay, I think I'm gonna say I'm not a race pupil. I just listened to some of the things he had to say. I don't want to, give away all my cards.
Of course, Harry, of course. You're not some kind of a fantastic racist now, and rest assured, no one's gonna hear about it.
He winks at you.
No one's gonna know what you did with race there, Harry. Your race bonanza is safe with me. Word of how racy it got will never leave Martin Ends.
Lol.
Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
Let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun.
Could he really be holding my gun hostage?
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
I will not be blackmailed with this gun business.
Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you, we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate, if inevitable, and doesn't put the RCM in a good light.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands.
Evrart, I'm going to leave now, but we might talk again later.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Great. Wouldn't want to get stuck in here.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
That was such a weird and uncomfortable experience, and I have no clue what to make of any of it for the time being. Is this saying guns are rare to see in this setting? I think it might be implying that, yes.